right, you gonna bring us in?
Sure.
Are you out of it today? You look like you're out of it.
I'm out of it every day.
Huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, that checks out. I'm your host, Ted Wilson. Next to me is the star of our show. At least that's what his face mask says. Damon Baracchio. Over there, the man who's getting a new fence sometime next week. Big Mac, the producer, Brian.
Yeah. Hey, he might be getting a new fence. We'll see.
I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Yeah. So we're digging for fence deals.
Yeah.
Once he gets the check, we're digging for fence deals.
He thinks he's already getting it, so.
Yeah. Weird.
Welcome to adulthood. Disappointments around the corner.
Hey, before we go into our week and go into everything else and maybe even throw back to last week, we need to thank somebody.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, because we got a really awesome gift this week.
We very loosely.
We got a very awesome gift this week that I was nervous and skeptical about. That's how I responded to her. She goes, where can I deliver?
Well, there's a reason why we should be nervous, but let's thank this person and these people.
Yes.
Because this is great, but then there's some reasons why we were nervous this week.
Yeah, so we really have to thank, seriously, Jamie Hooper and the Hollywood Slackers. Appreciate the masks. Brian, very professional. He is practicing his juggling, and he's not very good at it. Brian, you using the shower? Oh, he's just shutting off the light.
I think it was the fan.
Oh.
I think it was less noise than the noise he made to go get it.
I tell you, it took all my focus. You were not going in the shower. Not that I want to see that. I just want to see it being used. I've yet to witness it, other than myself.
I was going to say.
So, yeah, other than myself, which, Brian, you don't know about. You need to lock your doors better. So, anyway, no, I want to thank them not only for the mask, but they wrote a wonderful letter.
Handwritten.
Handwritten. And not in like ransom font. So it was very...
No, I wish they would have folded it up like we used to get notes in school, though.
Oh,
It'd take you like 8 hours to unfold it, and it never goes back the same way. Like, I don't know how you did this, but it's going to be crumpled.
But honestly, they're behind a lot of my business ideas. So for that, not only are they wise people...
Well, they're behind you, so...
They're very entrepreneurial. But they're a good group of people. And again, the amount of effort and thought that they did was very, very appreciated, at least by me. I know Ted's more of a cynical jerk, but the rest of us, you know. So Brian's enjoying the star mask, and Ted's the sidekick still.
Yeah, they're waiting on more material to make yours.
Yeah. You could use yours as a bonnet on that dome, though.
Yeah, good.
Wicked tan lines, but it'd be kind of cool. But no, we want to say thanks to them. Thank you very much. And thanks for everybody that listens too, because there's a lot of people that message you, me, what could we change? You know, most people say to you, they get rid of Damon, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I actually got a phone call this week from someone.
You got a phone call?
Don't look at me like you don't know what I'm talking about. Brian doesn't know what I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone called me.
Yeah.
And left a message and said, hey, this is, I'm not going to name names, but say, hey, this is so-and-so. And it was a name like a first name that I recognize.
Okay.
And a first name of someone we've been using on the show.
Okay. The message. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I was
so now I don't look dumbfounded.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know why they're calling 4 times today, but I'll call back. Turns out it was not the person I thought it was.
Okay.
And it was very, very eerie. Knew where I lived, knew what I had been doing, wanted to know if we wanted to hang out. If you know who this is and this is a joke, I don't find it funny because then they started texting me stuff.
So I do know who it is, and it's awesome.
No,
and he was supposed to call Brian last night. I had to let it go. That's why I told him, back off, chill. But no, buddy of mine, honestly, good friend of mine, Jim, he was hurting this week. He was in the hospital. He had very bad health thing going on. We started talking. He loves our podcast.
All right.
He loves our podcast. He loves the banter we have. I'm sure you too, not just with me, you have this very similar banter with anybody you talk to that you have a good relationship with.
Sure.
Okay? So he does that with me too. So people that know me personally or know you personally can set themselves in my chair or your chair and be like, that's just Ted talking to somebody.
Okay.
So he puts himself in your chair and he's talking. So I says, he said, you know what? He goes, I can't, and here's the kicker. And this is where I had the in. He's also friends with Ed King, who is one of our most avid supporters, listeners, commenter, everything, right? So I said, I got an in right here. I see my in. So that's why, Ed, if you're listening, sorry you got the text from Ted asking, hey, do you know this guy?
Well, the worst part, and I'm gonna throw Ed under a bus here for a minute. I'm like, Ed, did you do this? And he was like, no. I'm like, I was out. I was fine.
Yeah.
He said no. I believed him. I was out.
Right, for sure. He didn't know. He had no idea.
45 more minutes of Ed being like, well, I didn't do it. What else do you know about him? Look, Columbo, I don't care that much. You said no. I believe you. We're moving on. It is now worse that I have this 45-minute conversation convincing Ed that I believe he didn't do it. than it was that I have some guy going, I know where you live.
So
my mom and I are going to come pick you up.
So I won twice.
I don't know if you won because I literally just like do not disturbed it and deleted it, and I was like, "This is
so." So last night,
here's how I knew it was you though.
Yeah.
When you were in on it, when I sent you the photo of the text, and
I
you're
just
like,
shut up.
You're like, shut up. I'm like, all right. The fact that this does not bother him at all makes me believe that he has some sort of the fact that you didn't comment on the weirdness of it,
right?
Or how like
no, because I'd already seen it.
Yeah, I was
it got sent to me for approval.
He has no comment on it, so there's no.
So, and I know you're a smart guy, and I was like, there's better than a 50% chance he figures out it has something to do with it. But I like when it first text came through, he's like, you asked me, you're like, you seriously? I said, I don't know about it. And that's the only time I've lied to you. And I said, I'm gonna just, I don't want to answer that question again. So what did I say next? Talk to Big Mac. He fancies himself to be a comedian. So I put it on Brian, and he didn't even know. Did Ted ever talk to you about it?
No, because I had no inkling that I knew it would be Brian.
So, and I'm sitting there with my wife and Nicole, and I said, I just put it on Brian. She's like, shut up. I said, yeah. I said, I just want the heat off me, and we're going to let it roll. And just truth be told, Jim is a 53-year-old man that just like I said, he was laid up a little bit this week, had some free time, and decided to do me a solid. And you know what's great is seriously like your like your responses and stuff like that, it made him laugh.
Well, the only thing
I mean?
is that because during the phone call, I was very like, I'm not giving this guy any information because I don't know if it is a joke. Because this is before I've even checked with you. It's just someone has called me, and I'm like being very non-committal. Like, nope, sure, no, I've heard of that. Yeah, okay. And then he came off like a mentally diminished person, and I'm like, if this person is actually mentally diminished, I don't want to come out like. As some guy that is like
he did a solid, man. He called me afterwards and kind of went through it, and I was like, "Oh man!"
And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he called you a name, and I'm like, "Okay, well, this is weird because he didn't have to go there." Like, and I agreed with it. I'm like, "Yeah, he is totally that." And then finally, I was like, "You know what? I don't want to talk anymore," and I hung up.
Yeah.
And he texted me the next day. He's like, "Sorry, the phone broke out. I don't know what happened with something with my phone." And I'm like, "All right, you knew I hung up on you. It was clear. I was like, I'm done."
So I was corresponding with him. He's home now. He's recovering. He's doing good. But I was corresponding with him yesterday, and he was actually going to call the Audiohive number last night and say he went to school with us and he wanted to pay for an episode and and hey, when do we record? And he was going to give the name James, not Jim, and that was part of my my ruse. And I thought that way he'd be in on it. So when you come in, he'd be like, hey, some guy named James wants to pay for your guys' thing, this and that. And you'd be like, what? And I really wanted to take it to the next level. And unfortunately, he's recovering on medication, so he wasn't up in Brian's window, so he didn't call. And it's fine. But
well, I don't know because Brian would have had to mention when I come in. Last time that happened, he didn't. He just dropped it on us 45 minutes into the episode.
Right. So I didn't know how it would go. But here's what I didn't want. I told him, I said, because as of yesterday, I said, I don't know if he's got power back yet. I said, so don't call. I don't want enough time for those two to talk. I want it to just happen.
I don't know what you think goes on when I leave this place, but I don't even remember Brian's name as soon as I walk out the door. Like, we're not friends. I don't understand where we're going.
We talked about that before. Remember,
he checks his notes before he walks in. What's this guy's name? Oh, Brian.
Why does Ted ask me to wear a name tag every week?
This is why Damon always makes me like start the show. Like, I don't remember that guy's name.
He's got a Home Depot in training button that says Brian.
Well, the thing that got me is that because we've been talking about Jim Spinelli back and forth for like episodes now, and that's when he was like, "Hey, it was like four calls from this guy," and finally it was like, "Hey, it's Jim, give me a call." And I'm like, "Well, he would have called him." That's what it's good. Like, he would have called himself Spinelli. He wouldn't call himself Jim. I don't think.
Right.
But it was so quick. I was like, well, I was like, why is Jim calling from a local number? But then my cell phone is not local because I got it.
Right.
You know,
you keep the same number for a long time.
I got it in 1981.
Right. Yeah.
Me and Zach Morris have the same cell phone.
Yeah. You put yourself in that category, Zach Morris.
Well,
is that
I'm glad
what you just
did? This has been,
and that's why I had him lay low because I didn't know if it was bugging you or not.
So I didn't mean like. So I'm glad this is cleared up. I'm glad this first 10 minutes is.
So what? Yeah. So what?
Ted is an idiot. Please put some
I'm glad I
later.
didn't get excited and spend 4 hours making a promo for the sponsorship.
That would have been so awesome.
Yeah. I guess he would have been charged twice this week. No, he actually didn't pay for it, Damon. So you need to pay for it and my time.
Shocker. But no, so I was having a little fun with that. I didn't get to unravel it fully, but I could tell even when I walked in today, you seemed a little. You didn't get any more text though, right?
Oh, I don't know. Do not disturb it.
Okay. I'm going to say, yeah, because I told him, I said, just lay low. But no, that was me. And I don't normally do stuff like that, but we were talking, and I thought, you know what, that'd be great. It was his idea.
Yeah.
And I thought it was,
the only thing that was like when you start like naming stuff near my house, that's when I was like, I don't like this.
So the bad part is or not the bad part. The only thing I gave him your personal number because I have your work number. I don't know how many people have that. I didn't want it to be, now you know where he got it. So I did the personal number, and then I did the town you live in. And that's what I gave him. So he
clearly has Google.
He has plenty of time to Google while he's sitting in a hospital recovering. So he's in there, and he's showing me some stuff like he named a place by your house where you could go get pancakes, and his mom likes the crepes.
Well, that's
or
what
this
threw
or
me
that.
off.
I mean, it was
like,
hysterical.
Because the town I live in is like as if the same people in Gary, Indiana, say they live in Chicago. Like it's technically the same area, but it's not like in the main part of the town.
Correct.
It's like an annex.
You're very rural part. Yeah.
So he's naming these places. I'm like, oh yeah, that is in this town. Why do you know that? Why do I know that? But yeah.
So, hey, Jim, good job. Good job when you listen. Ed, sorry you were implicated.
I don't feel bad for Ed at all.
And Tad,
next time I say I trust you, Ed, I'm not going to trust you because you got way over convincing. It wasn't me. All right, Shaggy.
So, well, that took a turn.
Yeah,
that took a turn.
I'm glad hopefully that sparked you up now. And you can.
I am sparked. You know what's weird? And I talked when I walked in, I said I'm going to save it till we start talking.
Uh-oh.
But every week, there seems to be something that trips me out on the way here where it's like, I got to talk about that now. I get in my car, I turn the car on. Well, when the car pairs to the phone, okay, the phone tells you how many minutes to your destination. I am such a loser with no social life. My phone says 24 minutes to work because that's the only place I go from my house is to work. Now, if it's
so it just knew that you're in the car.
It's like, well,
it must be going to work.
Odds are, if you're leaving the house today, you're going to work. Have a good day, big guy. You know what I mean? And it's like, I guess my goal in life now is to have enough of a social life that at least my phone cannot judge me accurately.
Hey,
you know what I mean? That's all I want.
Have some realistic goals, please.
New house.
Right. Oh, maybe if I move, it won't know, right?
Yeah.
It won't know.
Well, that's it. I got in the car and I pulled up my GPS the other day, and I usually don't do it because I don't know where I'm going. I do it because it'll show me like, hey, what road is under construction today? Which for mine, it's every road. But
yeah, for sure.
It got in and said, are you going here? And I'm like, no. And I looked at my clock and I'm like, oh, so like 4 times a month I leave at this time to go to this place.
Yeah.
And the phone knows that. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. If Ed gets this kind of information, if Jim gets this kind of information, who knows what will happen?
Keep it away from Jim.
But actually, something happened to me. I, as you can see, I have a coffee, and I stopped to get it. And because it's a Dunkin', there's like 400 places between here and my house I can go. And I try to figure out, okay, which one's on the right path? Which one, like, do I not have to go too far
turn
away?
left and then come out left, right?
And I hit a light that was going to be a left turn. And I'm like, well, let's go to this one because the light hit, and I can just take that left arrow. And I get in there, and I get behind a guy at the drive-thru. And I'm just 10 minutes. I'm like, what is going on? And finally I lean out and he's like, can I get 6 of the chocolate frosted and 2 of the strawberry? What did you? I'm like, that's an inside order. Like even these times when there's stuff is closed and you don't want to get out of your car and you don't want to be around people, there's some orders that are still inside.
Right. Yeah,
and I was just like, oh my God. And then I look in my mirror and I'm like, the line is now out of the parking lot. It's across like the road between us and Menards. It's into Menards all the way around and back around. I'm like, this guy is on everyone's wish list today. Like that's what everyone wanted. The guy that is buying donuts for the office somehow on Saturday.
Maybe he's buying for the guys behind you.
That happened to me actually this week. I pull up and they're like, yeah, the guy in front of you paid for it. And I was like, fine, I'll pay for the guy behind me.
Yeah. Because you're like, I know I ordered stuff that I want to afford today.
Right.
The guy behind me
it
is
was
the guy going, And, you know, they probably told him they probably told him in the speaker, hey, yours is free today. Oh, in that case, hold on.
Apparently you've read ahead because that's exactly what happened. The guy behind me was more expensive than mine.
Was it really?
Yeah. And then the guy in front pulled up into the parking lot and was sitting there and he's looking at me and I'm like, do you want recognition? So literally I held up my drink and was like, yeah, you paid for this, buddy. Good for you. Wait for the picnic basket coming out behind me. They'll see what I paid for. Yeah.
I'm pulling up the rail right behind you. They're still making my donuts.
Yeah. I think that was in the Quad Cities because I was on Monday when that storm came through.
Yeah.
I'm in there and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take off. And everyone's like, why? I'm like, because there's a storm coming. And I'm like, well, a storm? I'm like, yeah, apparently it's pretty bad. Because I had gotten texts from people here in the Chicago area like, hey, are you still out west? I'm like, yeah, you should probably come home. And I'm like, okay, I got to wrap up my work though. I can't just pop out.
Right.
And then after the third one, I'm like, yeah, there's some people saying stuff's going on. I should probably go. And they're like, well, but it's sunny and bright. I'm like, hey, you know what? Do your thing. I'm going to take off.
Right.
I take off, and then the next day I get a call, or later that day I get a call from one of the managers out there, and like, yeah, we don't have any power, and there's damage. I'm like, I tried to tell you.
Yeah.
I talked to the guy that didn't seem to care about it 2 hours ago when it was about my safety, but now that you can't turn your computer on, suddenly we have an issue.
Should have just said, I'm looking outside. It's sunny.
Yeah,
I don't understand
it's fine.
what you're
I know what
getting
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's sunny here. That's awesome, dude. Hey, so my big thing this week was I sold a truck. And when I say it's a big thing,
I'm laughing because I've seen these texts were shared with me.
Yeah,
some of these.
yeah, you've seen some of these. So I had my son's truck that I detailed up and got rid of it for him. Okay, because his plan right now is going to the military, and I hope it works. Okay, so it's Dad's deal now to sell the truck. Now this same truck is the one that I drove with no brakes. Right. Not through the side of a train, luckily. But I had the brakes fixed. I got it cleaned up some, and I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. That might have been the worst mistake of my entire life.
Now, did you put a detailed description of everything about the truck?
10-4. 10-4. I put the year, make, model, engine size, different features about the vehicle, how it drives, how it stops, the condition of the tires. I put 13 pictures on, including there was a dent in the side. I took a detailed picture of the dent, so someone doesn't come out and go, I didn't see that in the picture. It had its own photo. There was a crack in the dashboard. It's a 98 pickup truck.
Yeah.
So there's a crack in the dashboard. I put that on there. And no surprises. Here's what it is. And I had, first off, in the first probably hour and a half, I had 10 different people. Is it still available? I hope so, because it's been an hour and a half. I mean, you know.
That's the thing is that Marketplace, like if you pull it up, like if I pull up your ad, because I looked at it to see, like, oh, is that the truck he was talking about last week? That's what I.
It gives you those as predetermined.
Yeah, one is a pre-populated. Damon, hi Damon, is this item still available?
Right.
So it must be people just like they're too afraid to talk to you, and just like, I'll just send them this question.
So
we'll start the conversation off.
I kept putting the word yes. Then I said, I'm not going to put yes and text to people and be like, oh, they can take this out. So I was just like, I put available. That's what I typed. So anyway, I go through all that. I show it the night before. The first night I put it on after work, I said, okay, I'll show it to one person who was 5 minutes away. Like, I got to come see it. And the guy comes out, he goes, so what do you take for it? I said, I put it right in the ad. Because I price it to sell it. I price it about $600 worth less than what it's worth. Sorry for stumbling through that. $600 less. Because I don't want to haggle. Okay, I don't want to get to the number I'm at now by us doing math and going back and forth. I'm going to tell you, just
you want to CarMax it all the way.
Come take a decent truck and go have fun with it. Here we go. And he goes, "What?" I go, "Well, it'll take what I listed it for." And he goes, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, what would you take?" I said, "What I listed it for." So make me an offer. And he turns and looks at his wife and he goes, "Oh, this guy's good." I'm like, how am I good? What am I? I'm not going to throw out any number less than what I listed it for, ever. So how am I good? So he then proceeds to tell me, well, you know, with this and this, I said, those were all in the pictures, correct? The pictures you looked at before you came to look at the truck, correct? And he goes, so I pull out my phone and I scroll. I just hit it and roll. And I said, all these people right here haven't come to see it yet. They all want to. I said, so this number right here, and I pointed to it, and I go, this is what I'm taking for the truck today because you're number one. I said, if you want it, you can have it. I don't have to talk to any of these people. You know, I had people texting me, would you take, I listed it for $2,000 because this will make more sense as we talk on. I listed it for $2,000, okay? Had a guy said, $1,200. Didn't even come look at it. Not even, is it available? $1,200.
Maybe he thought it was Price is Right.
Yeah, not even, yeah, it's like
$1.
Hey, $1. So anyway, and I put nope, just like all capitals.
See, that's definitive. The available thing. Now, had I known, I know I'm derailing your story here for a second, but had I known that you were the one behind the mastermind plan to drive me crazy with the Stalker,
everybody on
no,
me.
when you said available, I would have pretended like you didn't understand. Like that's why you answered.
Yeah,
like, available.
Yeah,
yeah. Like no, I'm asking, is it still available? And you've read available back. No, I understand. Like, are you not understanding that word? Because I understand what that word is. Do you know that? Like, I would have just driven you nuts.
Yeah. By available, what do you mean?
Yeah. Or any time that someone would have put on there like 1,200, if I could have get in, I would have like 1,201.
Yeah.
Like,
No, they're all private messages. So that was good.
That's what sucks is I couldn't get in there and been like,
they're all private messages. But
1,200 and a quarter. There's a national coin shortage. My quarter is valuable.
Yeah, I will pay you in nickels. So he goes 1,200, and I just seriously all caps, nope, and I put keep shopping. That's what I put. I got done answering ridiculous text. I really so the ad, it goes through everything, and it says, and just like brief synopsis, it says drives great, stops good, tires are good, and it goes through other stuff like that. Next question, how's it drive? I would go with great because that's what I put in the ad. Is it rear wheel drive? Yes, every truck ever made is. These are my responses. Yes, every truck ever made is. I've never seen a front wheel drive truck. I've seen 4-wheel drive trucks,
Right.
but everything's rear wheel drive. I had another guy say, 1,200, I'll be your backup. I said, no backup needed. I'll go the whole game. That's what I told him, right?
I feel like now this was just like for you to have some funnies.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. When I counted up when I was done, I had 37 people in a day and a half on this truck. And I was so happy to post to put it as sold. So they shut off.
What'd you finally take for it?
2,000.
How'd it drive? When the guy drove it off, how'd it drive?
I'm not sure. I think it stopped.
Was it the real wheels powering the drive? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but no, so it's just one of those things where it's like, if you want, first off, if you're on social media and you feel like you're not getting the attention you want, post a used vehicle in marketplace at a reasonable price, even if you don't own it. Take a picture of the neighbor's car. I don't care. You're going to make friends. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to make friends, but it was so ridiculous. I don't want to do that again. I just don't. So, and I kind of work in that industry from the service side. So I don't want to get into the sales side of it ever. That whole, hey, what do you take? Hey, what do you take? Not for me, man.
Yeah.
So I've had cars I've listed before on different platforms.
And this was the worst, you think?
This was the worst. Only because of how many people see it. Like if you're going to go on a cars.com or a Craigslist or anything like that, you're purposefully going there. Most people are on Facebook just to be on Facebook. And if they come across something because I posted it or somebody else shared my post, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's way more definitive. You might be like, I wasn't looking for that kind of vehicle, but that's a decent price for that. I'm gonna check into it because my kid needs a car. And so it happens more organically than it would as just like, I'm going to this website and I'm looking for this specific vehicle in this model year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it really is, it's a nice thing for that, but you get so many people involved that think that I'm ready to play Let's Make a Deal. And my favorite one, and then I'll be done. I'm sorry, I got it. My favorite one, guy sends me a picture of his car and his post on Facebook and says, we could trade, and then you just have to throw in some cash.
Like, I don't understand. I don't want a car. Like that was just thing. Like, yeah,
I just put nope.
You should have been like, hey, you know what? You can give me $2,000. You can have both cars.
Yeah. You can keep yours.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it was unbelievable. And these people that, just lowball.
Well, and the thing is, like, yeah, you're just sticking to what you said. This is my original thing. You're not trying to raise the price when somebody's get there. You're trying to do the thing. And suddenly you're the a-hole because, like, well, what do you mean you want to? Like, that's what I said. Like, I didn't, this isn't like, I said $2,000 you get here and I'll take $2,800. Like, you had all the information. Well, we're expecting people to read, though. That's kind of the problem.
Well, and the thing is it's a pickup truck and it drives and it stops and it's not bad. It's worth that all day long. It stinks. When we were teenagers, that same truck, although be it 4 years from being made, when we were teenagers, that same truck would have been a $500 vehikel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Those days are gone.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone. So when you have money like that and you have to spend it on your kids and that's what you're doing, you got to be ready.
I will say that I don't buy cars from this place, but I shop for cars at CarMax. Yeah. Because you can just go in their lot and all the cars are open.
Right.
And I don't take them for test drives, but that's where it starts. So I can sit in and say, like, is this comfortable?
Right.
I get in the back, like, oh, my head doesn't fit. My kid's head's definitely not going to fit.
Right. And you put the seat back where you're comfortable and then look behind you and go, oh, no leg room. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And so you can, it's literally, I mean, I feel bad because I used to work for Borders and people would come in with books and do that at Amazon. Yeah. So now I get, like, oh, I guess I am that guy, but for cars. But we went there and they're like, well, as long as you're looking around, why don't you let us give us a quote on your car? And my car, I knew was barely drivable at that point. And I'm like, sure, go right ahead.
I sold it to the second guy that came to look at it.
I'm sorry, my watch apparently thought that I was talking to it and started talking out loud. I'm like, whose phone is that? It turns out it was mine.
I like how you looked right at. We both looked at Brian.
I know, because I was like,
because we're like, there's no way.
You know who the only one is on their phone consistently through this?
Yeah,
Brian.
Yeah.
So I go to Karma and they're like,
that was awesome.
While you're looking around, why don't you give us a quote? And they said, I don't remember the number, but I'll say for grins, I'll say 2,000. They said, we'll give you 2,000 for it. And I was like, okay, cool, but I'm not going to buy a car from you. I got to drive that car away. So we left. You come back a year later, we find another car, we buy it, but we still have the car we need to get rid of, and I don't want to deal with the hassle you have. I'm like, let's just go to CarMax, whatever they give us.
Right.
I've driven it for a whole nother year. It's probably worth like a nickel.
Right.
Go in, they're like, we can only give you $1,900 for it. And I was like, oh, no. Let me think about that. We'll take it, I guess. I literally rented my car from CarMax for $100 one year because do they not keep records?
Right.
We offered this guy $2,000 a calendar year ago. Now we're going to give him $1,900. You'd have to be an idiot not to be like, yes, please. The blue book on it is $4. So you take whatever you like. Whatever. Just like this look at my face had to be like, don't look excited. Just check the number and move.
Yeah. Poker face. Right. 3 aces. Whoa.
Hey, I got a Fonzie hand. It just says, hey.
Yeah. But it's funny because I come back from lunch. I sold it on lunch the next day after I showed it to that guy the first night.
That was for work. I sold it on lunch.
I sold it on lunch. I took a lunch break. I went and sold it. Come back to like, you sell it? I say, yeah. And they go, how many times? I said, the second guy I showed it to. I said, the first guy should have bought it. You know, I'm glad the second guy did. I actually know the second guy. So
name Jim?
No, it's not Jim. I donated it to Jim for great work he did this week. But so that was my side hustle this week. Could I get into my presentation for I really think, even though Brian's not remotely paying attention, that you guys are going to totally be on board for this one. Hand to God, this one has real possibility. We down? Brian,
sure.
You good, Brian? You ready?
Damon's Future Crimes. Here we go.
No, right here.
No.
Now, just so you know, I even used your term. At 1:33 a.m., I woke up and wrote this down because this was a lucid dream.
All right.
And I was able to reclaim this. Okay, are you ready? So it's called Piggyback Rides, Inc. Okay? Now, in the previous ones, I don't think we focus enough on the Inc. We need the incorporation because...
Well, I think you should incorporate. I don't know if you need to put it in the name.
No, but I think you need, for legal reasons, because I'm sure there's going to be lots of legal reasons with any kind of business opportunity you take with me.
Yeah.
Okay? So, you ready?
I mean, you could do an LLC.
Big Mac, you ready?
Mr. Chicken? You could do a limited liability corporation if you want.
So then it's LLC.
Right.
All right, so we saddle pigs and let kids ride them. I mean, this is the most literal interpretation of a title you would ever have. And the best part, okay, Mac already has chickens in his backyard. So we jam a few pigs in there.
No.
He's fixing his fence. Nobody's going to know. You jam a few. And here's the deal. His fence is down. Right now, a much bigger stable. They can run the whole neighborhood. Okay? But what we're doing, all right, is we're going to strap them to, like little kids, like toddlers. You know what I mean? If it was like a newborn, I'd probably offer a discount, and I'd probably put like a clothes basket on the pig's back so the kid wouldn't fall off. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, but I really think that we could use your neighborhood, Brian, and your yard and lack of fence to, honestly, this would be good. This would be really good. Thoughts so far? I have so much more.
Like I was initially out. Well, how is it zoned at your, are you zoned for
no
farm?
I'm kind of unincorporated.
I see.
So
my in-laws are also unincorporated. So I guess if you want to do a satellite location, we could do it there too, but I'm still out.
So we're already thinking about franchising?
Well, I think we could sell
we
could sell the saddles retail as well, and we could call them pig rigs.
I like what you're doing here. Because that's my thing. You're either going to be in a clothes basket if you're little, or you're just going to strap them right to the pig if they're bigger. You know what I mean? I will tell you, though, both of you, I don't want you to think different of me because I'm a big guy, but I will discriminate against like a super fat kid due to pig fatigue because you would not want to wear out the guys. You know what I mean? Before you get through a full day of
I'm glad
kid ride.
you're not considering the kids' feelings, but you are concerned about the animals. I appreciate that.
I might have to charge more because if he has to pay for 2 sessions.
Once it comes to the money, then it's out.
Well,
Sure.
I could let him ride, but we're going to have to figure the next session that pig would do. He's wiped. He's tired. He's going to go rest.
Yeah,
so
I was
maybe you
just
buy
gonna
2
say,
sessions.
I don't know a lot about pigs. My mom has a pig.
Whoa. Are we
nobody's-
already doing this?
Nobody's riding that pig. That pig doesn't do anything. It just lays there all day.
Which makes
I
it
don't
way
know if there's
safer.
like a special kind of pig.
That makes it
you
way
envision
safer.
Yeah,
that
what
likes
if we just put
trotting
VR
around?
glasses on the people? The pig doesn't really have to go anywhere, but they think they're going around.
They would just be on their sides, like laying on the ground.
So you can just go up and down as they're breathing?
Hold
You
on.
just go up and down as they're
Hold on.
breathing?
They don't
This
even
took
like
a very
standing.
weird left turn. We just learned that Farmer Mac over here, Old MacDonald, comes from a family of animal owners. So who else in your family has farm animals? You have chickens. Your mom has a pig.
Yeah, do you have any other exotic animals we need to know about before I offer you a pet jet franchise?
Are there any that aren't delicious?
I have a guinea pig.
No, you can't wash out with a pet jet unless you're like 4 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the thing. So you already have a pig, so we don't really need as much startup capital.
It's in Tennessee.
I don't care. I'm not into pig importing, Brian. I mean, you go get it.
Yeah, I drove to Tennessee for a dog once. I don't.
Does your car have a back seat, Brian?
I mean, we had a
Kinda.
pickup we could have used until this week, so that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah,
fine.
we did have a pickup. You're correct.
It's on you.
So, but here's the other deal is if we start that, we can also go back because think you're going to have to clean those pigs between kids for germs.
So you're going to use this as a way to demonstrate
Pet
the pet jet.
Pet jet. We're cross branding. Yeah, we're cross branding. What do you think, Brian?
No.
I think that you should probably have slept in that night.
No, I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, I was not being
You actually
facetious.
that part was real.
Yeah.
You woke up in the middle of the night and wrote
This was legit. This was legit written August 13th at 1:27 a.m. I'm showing
From
Ted.
a lucid dream.
I'm showing Ted the stamp date. I haven't opened
Yeah,
it
it
since
also
then.
says in the parenthetical.
In your lucid dream, was this business going well?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. That's why, like I said, so let me give you my closing, like we're on Shark Tank. All right. So in closing, so we're not only going to need startup capital to get the pigs, a few clothes baskets, and some good strapping rope. I think we should also invest in good commercial grade meat smoker just in case the whole thing tanks.
I don't know if you noticed this, but in Shark Tank they usually have some stuff already. Like usually people don't go in with just an idea.
Okay, if I bring a pig in the studio, we can't record the rest of this.
Well, I meant the rope and the baskets and the pig rigs.
I keep rope and shovels and stuff in my trunk.
Yeah,
that
checks out.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. So what do we think? Is there a maybe? You already own a pig. You already own a pig,
Not in
Brian.
my backyard. No.
Oh, NIMBY.
Okay, so
My backyard's not that big.
well, it's bigger now because the fence is down. But my point is, so you're in other than the location. Gotcha. Ted,
I'm still out. I'm out.
you're out,
Oh yeah.
but you're okay if I use your in-laws' house.
Oh yeah.
For me and
It's-
Brian,
you do
for our business.
whatever you need to do. Sure.
So we have a location now, Brian.
I
You
don't
have a pig.
I don't have to spend any money on this, right?
it's like a half acre.
Well, we need to get
Should be
rope
fine.
and clothes baskets. I mean, it's not free, Brian. It's not free. So
I'm willing
you
to
have
throw some clothes baskets in the street. If you want to come by and pick them up, that's
Are you
fine.
serious?
Please run them through your reclaim your name system first and wipe them clean so I don't get tied to it.
There'd be a small processing fee
Yeah.
for that, but I could do it.
All the DNA on it would probably be hair, so it won't be me. That's all in my family for not cleaning up their hair.
I really thought this. You guys might be like Piggyback Rides Inc. It's so literal for a name. It's
I mean,
so-
I would pay to watch someone piggyback ride on you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're getting animals involved. I'm out. Too much.
What if we like renamed it like Toddler Rodeo or something? Would you do that?
No, that seems worse.
I feel like this could be a seasonal thing, like at the sandwich fair, you know?
That's awesome. that
Now,
you're like-
be careful because
like
when,
a- like a
when we first mentioned the sandwich fair to Damon, he got really excited, and then when he found out what it was,
Yeah,
he got
why
very
are
less
there
excited.
rides here? What are you doing? Where's my sandwiches?
I always wanted to join law enforcement in Sandwich, so I could drive around a car that said Sandwich Police.
So, we'll get off this topic. And like I said, we can cross brand our pet jet. That's why I thought this would be great too. Because if people see you cleaning the swine, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
going to be awesome. I think, Mac, we'll find a location that's not his in-laws' house. We'll get your pig and we'll just give it a dry run. All right. If anybody,
why don't you just dry run it in Tennessee? Because I have to imagine the laws are lax down there compared to.
No, what I'm thinking, I want an imported pig because then you could charge more.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
I'm
you
saying
follow what I'm
test it
saying?
down there, and then once you get
Yeah.
you get all of the like the dead children and all that stuff buried in Tennessee, because you know it's
Yeah.
going to go wrong a few times, then bring it up here.
Well, I'm thinking
Still out.
you're going to break a few eggs if you're making an omelet, Wilson. I mean, it is what it is. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you guys
you
would
thought
be
that
more
was
on board.
it?
I thought you'd be more on board. I thought you'd see like, you know, when I was like, man, and I'm going to use good strapping rope, not like, you know, I'm not just going to like put some little rope on there that's going to come off. I want the kid to stay stuck on that pig until he's done riding. I don't want him to fall off and get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll take it.
I mean, I could put you in touch with Cuban if you want to see
take
if he wants to get.
No, I've
invested.
already talked to him. He
All
doesn't
right,
want it. He doesn't want it.
that was my thought, but I was going to offer it to you.
You don't have a Tony Danza connection, but you and Mark Cuban are playing golf on every other weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of Tony Danza connection, Brian Googled the crap out of him this week.
Well, I think you just read Wikipedia.
Right, from Google. So regardless, when I was in studio and needed some Danza stats, we had 0. And when I was at work trying to do my job, I got a plethora of them in my inbox, including his boxing record and everything else. Yeah. So it was.
Well, if you're a true Danza fan, like none of what Brian sent was a surprise to me.
oh,
Total
here's the deal.
surprise to me.
Yeah, see, Brian is apparently not a fanza.
Yeah, he's not a fanza. It just really it cut me. It cut me a little bit. I was like, man, that was even. I think
You
that was
were
even
not
my,
in the Google seat.
I think
You
that-
chose that
right.
seat when we first started this.
That's why I said I was even thinking. I think that was one of my comments. I'm like, oh, you can Google him now, you know. But yeah, he sent me some awesome stuff on that. Hey, something else I saw in the news. Can I talk? 'Cause
Yeah, sure.
I'm the king of segues.
Yeah.
Okay, so something else I saw in the news is that now they want you. They're suggesting that not only do you wear a mask all the time, even when you're in your car driving and this and that, which I find utterly crazy.
I think we can get Weird Al to rewrite that song to be
What?
King of Segways. King of Suede.
So I'm so smooth at it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look, a squirrel. And I like biscuits and gravy.
They're
Yeah.
telling you that you should wear your mask.
You should wear your mask. And it said on there, on the news, it said they recommend you wear it during intimate time with your wife or significant other.
What news outlet was saying this?
I don't know if it was CNN. It was across the bottom of the thing. But it used the word, it said sex. It said when you're having sex, you should wear a mask.
Hey, Brian, can you just timestamp this now?
Yeah. His face turns red. He turns to take a pic. Were you rubbing your eyes before I started talking, or?
I'm trying to put the Corona in as deep as I can wipe it into my face.
But no, it's a true thing. It's like I could not imagine. Like then you should just wear one when you get in the shower. You should wear one when you get out of the shower. You should wear one. I mean,
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any
if you're
sense
in your
at
own
all.
house, there's nothing you can do to get away from it.
yeah. I tell you what I do.
Unless you didn't see the first part, and it was like if you're with strangers, like did you not like? Because then maybe sure, I guess, but.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never been put in that predicament though, especially not recently, where it's like, hey, I don't know you, but we're moments away from something happening. I feel it.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me go get my mask.
Let me go get my sidekick mask real quick.
Oh, you'd be a real hit with that sidekick mask.
Sure, because
They
all
wouldn't know.
all the sidekicks are real hits.
Robin.
Yeah, that's like you only think of one. Robin, right?
Well, if I go back to 60s TV, do you mean Robin?
I mean, Burt Ward, sure.
Holy cow.
Is that a
You after you derailed my business idea, I just kind of
you deflated? That was it.
You know what? I'm upset about it because I feel like
You keep calling them
We should have
business
been-
idea. I think you're giving them a little too much credit.
no.
I think they're just. I don't even know if I want to say ideas. I think they're just random thoughts.
They're more than random thoughts.
I'll tell you this: if someone comes out with a pig writing enterprise and makes it big and is sweeping the nation with their pig writing franchises, I will come up to you and be like, "You might not have been wrong."
Even then, I get like a hesitant maybe.
I guess I'm still out. Can I get you to invest in my friend's pig writing franchise?
I was just gonna say that's what you'll be like. Man, I retired this week. Why? I put everything I own into the pig riding franchise, and it's been quite well.
Yeah, remember when you should have gotten that incorporated? You didn't.
Yeah. Well, I went to do it, but it was trademarked. And I hear your phone go ding. It's it's done. Yeah. So hey, I talked about the truck. I talked about my week. I didn't really talk about your week. Other than gym. I like how you let in with the gym thing, though. That made me so happy.
Makes one of us, maybe two. I don't know. Brian has absolutely no emotions.
Huh? No,
you know those things where they show like a picture of Darth Vader and they put every emotion on it. It doesn't. You can just do that with Brian's face.
Yeah.
Happy, sad, excited. Yeah. People in the shower. No. Yeah. That's the only one where it'd be like, no.
Damon asking a question.
That's
nope.
forced choke, Vader.
Hey, you want to know? So you're not in on that, Ted. You haven't been on anything yet. Brian, he's in on 2, so we're good.
I think that's news to Brian, for sure.
Yeah, so he's in on 2. But they actually make products that shouldn't be on the market. Yeah. And they sell them.
Mostly through TV ads.
Correct, but they sell them. So somebody's making some kind of money on them. Wouldn't you think that you'd want to get in, even if we're like a nighttime infomercial for Piggyback Rides, Inc.?
I don't know how that infomercials. Like, don't we have to have a location? Are we sending the pigs through the mail for $19.95? But wait, there's more. For an additional $10, you can get the rope and basket.
You get an extra pig. You get an extra pig. You just got to pay shipping on both.
Oh, and handling.
Yeah, it's never just handling or shipping. It's both. So, no, I think this would infomercial
processing
really good.
fees, sometimes I hide it that way.
Per pound.
Yeah.
She's a big one. This one's going to cost you. But good news is she doesn't eat much. Do pigs eat stuff? What do you feed pigs?
I think they eat everything.
Do pigs eat
like
stuff?
literally everything.
Do they really?
Yeah.
So then there's going to be a cost of doing that. You know what? I'm out.
Didn't you ever see Charlotte's Web where the rats fall excited about the smorgasbord in the pig's trough?
Yeah, but
there's a whole song about it. You know, I don't.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's not the kind of pig I'm looking for, though. I want one that's got like attitude. You know.
Okay.
What?
I don't know where this is going.
I'm just being honest. I don't want a pig that just like sits there and then looks up at a web and talks to a spider. I don't want all that stuff. I want a real pig.
I don't think you listened to Brian where he said the real pig is just going to lay there and look at you like no
and complain loudly about everything.
Oh, we could do a discount if you make your pig squeal so many times. You get a discount.
That doesn't.
How much food do they eat a day?
That doesn't sound right.
I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Google's at his fingertips. He has no idea. I don't know.
The internet's still out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The internet's out. Right. Mm-hmm. You guys are so mean to me. You guys are so mean to me. It's not even funny.
I think you broke Brian.
Yeah. Ted doesn't have an answer. It's like, hold on. I'll go find it at the library. He hits pause, gets on his unicycle, curls his mustache, and rides to the Yeah. I go, hey, I don't know that. He's like, I don't know. My internet's out. Yeah.
I tried to play some games once. I dialed in to some games and I couldn't. I needed the password.
Yeah.
Brian got me Joshua. That's how he went to the library. He researched Dr. Falcon. He did the whole thing.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, no, that's the best part.
That predates me. I don't know what that is.
You don't know the movie from 83, 84? That's surprising, Brian.
So I honestly though, yeah, because I don't want him. I can't have him at my house. So Brian, we definitely can't have him at your house.
No.
We definitely can't have him at your house.
Yeah, Damon doesn't have a fence because I probably would have stained it by now.
I don't have a fence, and I'm not.
You don't
far
have a friend
from
either, too.
From a highway.
Yeah.
I'm not far from a highway. So
my neighbors are like 3 feet away from me, so it's
how wide's a pig? It'll fit between the houses.
Probably 6 feet.
Yeah,
pigs ain't 6 feet wide.
Yeah, did you ever see those signs that are like "Stay 1 pig away" when you're at the store?
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Holy cow, it's awesome. Why is bacon so small then?
Well, because it runs the other way.
Oh, across the grain?
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
You know, I'm just as close to a major highway as you are. So if that's your excuse, then I'm not.
But you have a fence.
That doesn't change anything.
You have a way to contain them. You have a dog that can hurt them.
No. You have a dog.
Yeah, my dog's useless. Yeah, my dog's going to strap to it, and we're going to see how long it can ride.
I think that's just for your enjoyment.
Huh? She's just a little dog. She's my wife's dog. She's not my dog. You know what? Never again refer to her as my dog. Just so you know.
Have you ever seen Damon's dog?
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now.
If I had the internet, I'd look it up.
That dog. Yeah,
that's true.
You guys suck.
Can I cast
very
you
bad.
to your TV?
he goes to my wife's Facebook page. He's like, here, it's right here.
Yeah.
It's like, you got internet, dude. What are you doing? But no, I guess I wouldn't want that overhead. So I'll stick with cleaning them. I'll stay out.
You
So
want
Brian,
us to run this other business so you can just charge us to pet jet them?
No, I'm gonna give Brian all rights. It's all yours, buddy. Run with it. So he seems to be the one that's most excited about it anyway now because I don't want to feed him. I'll bathe the crap out of him with that pet jet thing.
Your emotion on that is a little creepy to me.
Hey, by the way, did I tell you we should offer that as like a that should be our infomercial. That should be offered to go on your garden hose, and it should be for at-home use.
The pet jet?
The pet jet. Because then we wouldn't have to travel and go anywhere, and people just buy it, and that's one where you buy one, get one free.
So they can give it to their neighbors and talk about it. If you promise to share this with your friends and family, we will send you an extra one.
Just pay shipping and handling.
No additional cost. Just pay the same amount of price in shipping and handling.
Well, we gave you the first one free, too, so the second one's going to be $49.95 as well.
Now, I noticed on your list you didn't bring it up, but you were going to talk about that weird pillow that kids take to bed with them that puts lights on the ceilings.
Well, that's the one that's a bad idea. And they have it. You're basically giving the kid a projector and having him fall asleep next to it. So if Piggyback Rides Inc., I think I'm out just because of the amount of overhead.
I think I have one of those Star Brights at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't it called? Is that what it was called when we
I
were
don't
little?
remember. Well, not from when I was little. I have children. They had one. I'm saying it's in my house because my children had one.
You talking about the box that you put like the black paper over and you?
No,
not like
I
a
have one of
light
those.
bright.
No, I have one of those. But I
had one of those too. Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't.
It's like a pillow that literally you go to bed with it and there's a light in it.
Either that or like they have them in like caterpillar form. It's like a little bit like a baby, and then so you'd go to bed with it, and when you squeeze it, it shoots on the ceiling, so you're not scared of the dark.
Gotcha.
Well, you're putting your kid to bed with a projector next to him in the bed. That's probably highly flammable.
My mother-in-law works at Bed Bath & Beyond. If you don't think that my house is full of As Seen on TV and Bed Bath & Beyond products,
Really?
you are crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's where like Christmas gifts, anniversary gifts, birthday gifts, that's where they come
I have
from.
a flashlight that runs on water at my house.
I've seen those,
Yeah.
but they look, I'm like, okay, cool. That's great if I'm going over Niagara Falls and
I
I
guess I
want
could
to
have given it to
see.
you this week, Brian. You could have put it in the shower and then you would have had light here.
That'd be like the only way I'd have light.
See the shower? Now who's making fun of the shower?
Why don't, I really thought you were going in there earlier, but why don't we plug the shower? Just for grins.
more?
Let's,
I've never actually used it, but I might try today. I can't remember if I have shampoo there because I didn't not factor in time to take a shower when I got up this morning.
Oh, so your next guest gets freshly showered, Brian. But
yeah.
we get last night, Brian.
It'll be after that.
I was going to say, we're going to run long
Yeah.
on purpose, just so.
We get shame and eggs, Brian.
You need to sit, what is it, crisscross applesauce?
Crisscross applesauce.
Brush your teeth right there behind the desk, and we'll call it a day. Holy cow. Hey, so you're talking about, because I sent you just a quick list. Here's the deal. Every week I put Ted on the spot because I'll have like rough ideas of like, that's cool. I'll jot it down. I'll jot it down. And sometimes I'll have a little direction on where I want it to go. But I sent him the list. And did you see on the very bottom where I put like talk show host past and present?
I did. Just this morning when I was like, maybe I should read that list he sent me.
Movie stars past and present. And the reason I kind of put those on there is because I know Tony Danza, I do that, and you're a huge Pauly Shore and have a tattoo and everything. So I know how that works. But Big Mac looks up. He goes, wait a minute. I'm going to wake up from my nap for that one. But no, you have an affliction or whatever you want to call it for Michael J. Fox.
I like the movie he was in, Back to the Future, sure.
Yeah. But you like him as an actor, too. I mean, you just, right? No? You want to meet him?
I would like to meet him because I've met most of the actors from that movie, Back to the Future.
Okay, so even if we just take that premise, can you think of somebody else today, other than maybe a comedian, because I know what you like to do and this and that, could you think of somebody else today that you really, really, really want to meet that's in movies?
No.
Take the obvious ones aside. Everybody I think would like to meet like The Rock or meet, I'd like to meet people like that. I get it, but it is what it is. But like somebody where you're like, well, I feel like I really need, because I'll never meet that guy. I get it. It is what it is. But there's nobody that you can think of. I can't, other than comedians. Like I said, I told you before, I'd like to meet a couple comedians. even threw some names out on here. Probably like I think Gaffigan would be neat to talk to for 5 minutes if you let me.
I throw out some lists, but I don't think most of my comedians that I would want to meet are British based. Jimmy
Really?
Carr, David Mitchell, others.
Others?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding with you. No, but there's like I watch a lot of British TV and a lot of the comedians. They do shows over there, like they're kind of like talk shows, but they're also game shows. But they have the same like comedians. Richard Audiohive, I'd love to meet him. Chris O'Dowd, love to meet him. All of them in the UK. And since Americans can't go anywhere anymore, I guess I'll never meet them.
Right.
Unless they come here. But no, you're right. Am I starstruck by movie stars anymore? Not really.
No. It's kind of weird, ain't it?
Yeah. I mean, if I met Tom Hanks, that'd be cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, oh, is Tom Hanks over there? But if I like walked in an elevator and Tom Hanks would be there, I'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
Wilson! Has 2 L's.
Yeah. Second L silence.
Hey, you know that Wilson friend? He spells his name wrong. That's why he left you jerk.
And he's round and I'm not. So you're welcome.
Anymore.
No, I Tom Hanks, yeah. I like maybe like Mark Wahlberg, The Rock. I mean, big guys, big time guys. That
You could have met his brother. Movies. He was in St. Charles the other day.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Well, he lives in St. Charles.
Yeah, but he was opening up the new Wahlburger.
Yeah. Oh, have you been yet? Because it's in your backyard.
I've not been to that one.
No. I know you went to the one out in Vegas.
Vegas,
right?
yeah. But well, no, the line's been around the block.
Has it really?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah, around the new kids on the block. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's no.
They're all on rollerblades taking orders. I'm like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah, you guys hard up for money.
But no, I just started thinking, and even like talk show hosts, like I know we were young with Johnny Carson, you know, and I like David Letterman a lot. But I didn't care for like Jay Leno, so I didn't, you know, and other than his car collection, he seemed like a very interesting guy. I was not a fan of his version of Tonight Show. Sure. Right. I like Conan O'Brien. I just don't know. Like, it's not like I have to meet, you know, I think if I met him, I'd laugh my butt off.
Like a life crisis you're going through where celebrities don't mean the same for you anymore?
No, I just think that it's more watered down. I think that what's weird is if I go ask my kids, because now this is our generation. We're both 44 years old. We're asking this question. If we ask Mac, so let's ask Mac. Seriously, do you have a movie star other than the big names, which I've named some of them, that you feel like you need to meet?
Mark Wahlberg and The Rock. So anyone else is on the...
And you named Tom Hanks.
We named throwing it out. But
yeah.
Just like I've named some of them.
Can you think if somebody were like, man, I would really like, I go out of my way if I saw them to try to introduce myself?
No.
Yeah. See, and that's sad.
Fighters.
Huh?
Fighters.
Yeah,
Martial
but
artists.
not like entertainers.
stars.
Not entertainers. Yeah. And I'm the same way. Maybe like athletes or something. There might be a couple where I really like, wow, I appreciate his body of work that much that I'd be like, I'd like to talk to you or shake your hand.
Mac, take out of work. Can you timestamp that? Can you timestamp that? Take that out. I didn't say. Well, it's weird you say that because I was watching a show that was talking about a show from the 80s that didn't make it, and they were talking about like the story behind like where it came from. And that show today, if it was on, it got canceled in the 80s for bad ratings. That show today would be the top show by 12 percentage points.
What show is it?
It's called Automan.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, that's probably why. It starred Desi Arnaz Jr.
Really?
Yeah. It was a takeoff of Tron. This guy, he created this program that could turn into cars
so it's
and
sci-fi.
robots. Yeah, it was sci-fi. It was on for 13. It was one season, 13 episodes.
Yeah, but sci-fi action.
It got canceled. Mm-hmm. And the ratings it had then, if it had those same ratings now, it'd be up there with Monday Night Football, which is like the top show if that ever comes back. But
yeah, well, I hope it does. But yeah, well,
and just so weird, like some other thing. Like that was.
You said your son does online gaming, right?
As far as I know. Sure.
Okay. I have a son? What? Wow. No, but he probably knows then like YouTubers or online. Like that's, if I ask my kids, that's what they want to meet. My younger kids.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they want to meet. They're like, oh, this guy, he has, 7 million followers and he puts out a video every day and does this and that. And they're like, I want to meet that guy. And I'm kind of laughing at myself. I'm like, that guy's doing way more than we're doing. I understand. But in this day and age, like, it doesn't, you can get your own popularity right now. Right now you can have it. And these kids are like, oh, that's a star. He's made it. And I'm like, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, some of those YouTubers have millions and millions of subscribers. They're doing a living. I mean, it's not like they just turn on the camera today and tomorrow they're a star. But I do try to follow some of them. So when I talk to my kids, I know what's going on.
Right. They're very influential.
Yeah.
Whereas,
someone may see, like, I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, are they saying anything that I need to fix later? Like, I mean, are they like suggesting things or saying things? But it's like, it's crazy. Some of the production people, the value is like, wow, okay, they've put a lot into this. And then some people are just literally like us they'd have a camera focused on them and just one guy talking to a microphone.
Yeah.
And they have 750 million followers. Like, what?
How does that happen? Yeah. No, and I guess a true question from us. Yeah, how does that happen?
How does that happen?
No, I mean, literally, please let us know how that happens. But those are the people my kids want to meet. So it's just kind of weird how you look at it. Like, you had these movie stars. You said Desi Arnaz Jr., but even when we were young, our parents were watching Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. You know what I mean, and stuff like that, and Andy Griffith and wholesome people that were. Heck, we had a president that was a movie star, before. So
Ronald Reagan,
was
a first lady. Jane Wyman, Jack Benny is the Secretary of State. When we went and visited Hollywood, which I was on the set of Dukes of Hazzard, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't brought that up.
Yeah, you've
when we went and visited
several times.
They took us into the set for Big Bang Theory, which I don't watch. I've seen it a couple times, but I'm not. And it was just weird. Like, this is the #1 sitcom in the country while we were there, and I was just like,
yeah,
whatever. I mean, it was cool to see the behind the scenes and how they do all that stuff. But my kids had never heard of it. My wife doesn't watch it. I don't know if anyone else in the tram was excited about it. The Warner Brothers people were like, "Hey, look, this is our #1 show," and everyone's like, "Cool, can we go back out?" And go out and,
where did they run the generally around that circle? So no,
that was the funny thing. They were on that set, and they're like, "This is where they filmed Gilmore Girls," and they named some other shows.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the same town. If you go back and look and watch, you're like, that is Hazard. But I'm in the back like, I think this is, and they're like naming all these other shows, and I'm like in the back, like, this is Hazard. There's Cooter's Garage over there. Like all the people not from America are like, this guy's screaming about Cooters back here. I don't know if we should. This is a family tour, sir.
No, you've managed to tell me you've been there. I at least one other time.
Our mutual friend Mike Duffy sat in the DeLorean when we went to Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. They like picked someone to be Jennifer and someone to be Marty, and they did like a green screen thing. You know what? I'm telling the story for sure. Why not? He can do whatever you want to do. And he would show me that video. So I was like, "Hey, remember when I was in the DeLorean?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool. I do remember that." Remember the day you were dead to me?
Yeah.
From that day on.
My goal now is to take and it's going to have to be weird. We're going to have to be really like in biohazard suits, but to take a selfie with Michael J. Fox and be like, "Hey, you remember the time I met Michael J. Fox? Yeah, I told him what a jerk you were." And
it's funny you talk about how I want to meet comedians and everything. Tom Wilson, Biff, was at Zanies in St. Charles years ago. And I didn't go because I didn't go to comedy then. That wasn't my scene. That wasn't my thing. And then I got a job there at Zanies as a door guy for a while. And Brian, our mutual friend, not Big Mac, but we'll call him Zanies Brian, I guess, would just be like, "Hey, remember that night when Tom Wilson was here and we hung out?" And I was like, "No," because I didn't work here. Then he's like, "Oh, that's right." And then 2 minutes later, he'd be like, "Hey, remember that night when?" So apparently that's just a running gag where they like tell Ted all the stuff that he didn't do that I did.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot more opportunities you've taken than what you've missed. So you've done pretty good.
Thanks, Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. That's a deep cut office joke. If anyone wants to research that, Big Mac's still over there like, "Man, when is this internet going to come up?" I've actually had to listen to this show.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, Mac.
It's going to sound great.
It's going to sound great.
Because we do great work here at Audiohive Podcasting Studio.
Mac's favorite part, the outro music. Oh, jeez. No, I put that down because I wanted to bring it up. I just feel like there's not somebody.
Well, it's not segmented anymore. I mean, back in the day, there were like, 3 networks, maybe 5 television channels. So like everything was in one. There's so much.
Yeah.
I think almost too much. There's almost too much.
Well, and I didn't stay up like to see Johnny Carson. I wasn't up at that time. It was like 10 o'clock at night when it came on. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have got half the jokes from the monologue anyway. He was very dated with his jokes. If you listen now, it's funny, but unless you're like, I don't want to say a history buff, but unless
you're saying he was very in the moment with his jokes, like they don't
absolutely
play now.
They don't play now. It's like a comedian that when someone passes on Michael Jackson or this or that, and they go and write a whole thing about it, it's like, cool, that's going to last for this amount of time. You need something that's going to be, and as much as I hate to say it, because I'm not a big fan of his stand-up, but Seinfeld, you need to be a Seinfeld. You need to be that Peanuts on the Plane joke works every time because it's not dated. There's always an airplane. There's always, there's always something. So
yeah, and that's the thing is like someone asked about. I did an interview with Zany's Brian, and they were talking about like who influenced you, and he mentioned Seinfeld, and I'm like, I recognize that he is very successful, very talented, has done all this other work. Just is not my bag.
Yeah,
just not my thing.
His stand up is not.
But I respect the hell out of his work ethic and what he did and how he got there and everything he's accomplished.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I have to like every joke he's ever told.
Yeah, but I think people like that would be fun. Like you, if you go on stage. And I've been with you before you perform, and then you go back and you're waiting, and I'm sitting out there waiting to watch you perform. You come out, that's rehearsed. Most of it's rehearsed. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you're trying to get your timing down because you got it in a window where you're good. They're not going to start flashing a light at you, going, "Hey, get off stage, dude!" Hey, get off stage. But sometimes we'll laugh harder even before ahead of time.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it's unscripted, so it's like it's not anything ignorant. I had. I got a blessing to do a Zany set once, Johnny, once. And you know what? It was years ago, and it was for someone who was giving a comedy course. And I went there, and that was your graduation. You got to do Zany's Chicago. So it was very cool. But I had my whole bit down to the, like 5.5 minutes, because you get 5 to 7. I'm like 5.5. If there's laughs, because you never know.
Yeah.
If there's laughs.
If Damon's going to be between 5 and 7, he's going to be closer to 5.
2.5 minutes. It's 2.5 minutes long.
Minutes.
But yeah, so 5.5. And I'm going there, and I literally threw the whole thing out because I rehearsed it so much, it wasn't funny to me. And I was going up by myself. So I didn't have anybody with me like to play off of, to be like, to bring my brain back into, well, that's rehearsed for that room of people. You know what I mean? Selfishly, I was like, that's for me.
Well, it's
because you don't find it funny anymore.
It's weird that you say that, because when we go to shows, I try to go with someone I know. Like I drive with Zany's Brian a lot.
Yeah,
I drive or we go early so we can hang out in the green room. Or that's usually what
get the energy up.
Or just have more like that's more fun for us.
Yeah,
I mean to perform on stage is amazing. It's a great opportunity and it's a lot of fun. You come off, you're on this high, but it's so much fun to just hang out with the other comedians and just chat and be cool. Mm-hmm. And some of the people that have been there forever, like my mentors in the comedy world, let's say. They'll be like, yeah, we know who's going to be funny because we talk to you guys off stage. And we know if you're genuine and funny in this room, you're fine out there. Don't worry about it. You're just be yourself.
Right.
Because they're like, we've met some terrible people off stage. And it's just awful. And they're like, yeah, I get it. You've been doing this for years. But yeah, that's some of the most fun. It's just when I do a Kenosha, I usually try to get a group of us to go up there together, and we just the whole way up we're cracking jokes and not like trying to like, oh, haha, this is funny, kind of thing. But we're just telling stories, and we're like, it's just a good time, and we're loosening up. And on the way back, we're making fun of people in the crowd, or we're not like meanly, but like, man, what was that guy doing? Like, I have no idea. Kind of distracting, kind of thing. And it's just so much fun, the atmosphere around it. But that's because I only do it so often. I can't imagine what it's like for be on the road by yourself and trying to get that energy up for 3 nights and then be down. Like
and you're missing your family, you're missing this, you're missing that.
So I'm kind of cherry picking the fun stuff of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But no, I really feel like it's a pretty cool thing. That's why I said I like stand-up comedy. I like watching you do it, but I feel like the more natural stuff, like when I've never heard your stuff, it's great. Even some of the stuff I've heard, it's still great. Well, because you get better, you find the little, okay, I tweak this word, because that's what you're doing. You're perfecting.
Well, it's weird.
Your story.
I hadn't done it for months because no one had done it, and then I did a show. I pre-recorded a show on a Thursday, and then not that following Saturday, but so 9 days later, I had to go up again. And I did most of the same material. It was an entirely different show because I had been like, okay, this worked, this didn't work. I thought of this stuff, this didn't work. I'm playing off something this guy said earlier. And you can see it. So, like, most comedians have their stuff, but it's not like I have to go from A straight through to Z. You can go A to L to to K to Q. Like, you can bounce around through it as long as it ties in and makes sense. And that's kind of like that's when you know you're ready to move up, when you have enough material where you can dance around it. So, when you only have 15 minutes,
like segues, what I do.
Yeah, you'd be the king. When you only have 15 minutes, you can't be like, oh, I can do a 15-minute show, because that's not enough.
You're correct.
Because something might not work, or something might throw your timing off. Or so you have to have more than that. And it's funny, the hierarchy of stuff where you see people be like, oh, I'm ready for that. And the rest of us who are in reality are like, no. But, you do your thing, flame out, do whatever you want to. That's not for me, whatever.
No, I ended up doing one of the open mics with you, and I got nervous going back up there. I never get nervous. But it had been so long since I'd been up there doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we told you it was bottomless night, so.
Yeah.
No pants allowed.
Yeah.
Check this out, Johnny.
Well, unless you're in the front row, nobody noticed. So it's all good. You got to look from a different angle. But
that's the thing people in comedy shows should realize, too. When they go to them, just don't. It's not your show. Don't call out.
Yeah.
Unless you're being called out, too. Don't call out. No one wants that. Unless you're in the front first 2 rows, you're probably not going to be seen.
Correct.
So when they're like, hey, is anyone here from out of town? And you're 9 rows back, raising your hand is
Say
basically
hey.
useless.
Say hey.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. And they want to know where you're from. Like, is anyone from out of town? Don't be like, yeah. They want to know, like, yeah, I'm from where the pig lives in Tennessee. You know, like, give them something to work with. That's the whole point. They're trying to play off it.
Are we doing that now, Brian?
Yeah, I think we're in.
No.
Okay. Just checking.
All right.
When I get a call back like that, I just want to know.
But it's just funny. Like, and you don't realize that. Like, the first time I went up there, I was like, oh, you can't see past the first like row of people.
No.
It's
No.
weird. Well, in some like lower production places where they don't turn the lights off on you, that's awkward because you can see everyone.
Yeah.
And then you get distracted. Like, what's going on outside? What are they doing out there? I know you guys can't see this because you're facing me, but there's something weird going on out there.
Man, there is something way more entertaining that way. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, you guys just all turn around. I'll do voices while they're doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But you told me you didn't even know her.
I've seen some really bad stand-up comedy.
I shared those with you in confidence, you jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen some really bad ones. And, I still can't bring myself. Nothing irks me more than looking around and seeing glowing faces because people are in their phone. And it's like, to me, I don't care if it's free and you came in here, pay attention.
Well, that's the thing is, like, if you've chosen your seat, like, I've been in places where people have chosen, like, sometimes you get seated.
Yeah.
And Zane's Brian was a master of putting the right people in the right spots.
Yeah.
Because he was a door guy forever. But there's places where you pick your seat. And I've been in shows where people have picked the seat right in front and they're not into it. I'm like, why did you pick the seat?
Right.
Like, I can see everything you're doing and not doing.
Right.
Like, there was one guy, he just literally put his head down and like looking at it like, I can see that, buddy. Like, if you don't like my stuff, that's fine. But you're making quite the statement right here. Yeah. So then, like, I don't want to be picked on. Well, you're right here.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to be picked on, 3 rows all the way to the back. Those are your choices.
Yeah.
Like,
Geographically speaking, you should have chose otherwise then. Because they usually
he could have
ask
reached out and adjusted the microphone for me. That's what I'm saying. That's how close he was.
It's like if you go to see Gallagher, you don't sit in the first row if you don't want watermelon on your face.
I just got this new suit. We're going to see Gallagher. Cool. Where's your seats? Oh, row A. Awesome. Gallagher, for those of you who are younger, smashes watermelons with a mallet.
It's the only thing I remember.
Is that my the more you know moment? The more you know, the more you know. But no, this was fun. I think we just got to, we got to just kind of chill and talk.
Kind of chat a little bit?
Yeah. And that's one thing I really want to do more frequently because we haven't been doing it because we're like, we don't want to ruin it. We want to go in there with energy and this and that. I don't think we ever have a problem getting the energy going. I really don't.
I don't get invited to things anymore. I don't hear from Damon anymore. It's been great. That's not where I thought you were going with this.
I've almost lifted the restraining order. It's been perfect.
This doesn't look like 50 feet to me. With that said, however, we have been informed that this is not our private studio today and that Brian has other clients he has to record.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you what Brian is. Brian's a juice box. Brian's a juice box.
Yeah. Brian, I'm just as interested in you to find out what this means.
Okay, this got brought up this week, and then we'll end on this, I guess, but unless Ted has something to build off it, which he may very well, and then Brian, you're just SOL. But anyway, when I was at a family function, I want to say like a Thanksgiving, Christmas, something like that, we had the extended family at my grandma's house. And my nephew comes in, and I have older boys, of course. They're 20 and 22 now. They were probably like 13, 14 then. So my nephew would have been like 8.
They're 2 years apart now.
Yeah.
But back then they were 1 year apart.
Yeah. Well, that's when you grow, Ted. That's what happens. So anyway, God, you're so stupid. Get a calendar.
I don't know.
So anyway.
Not sure.
Anyway, my nephew, who would have been probably about 7 or 8 at the time, right? He comes out of the back room and he's talking to my aunt. And he says, why would they call me a juice box? They didn't call him a juice box. They called him something that Summer's Eve sells to women.
Jim called you that on the phone. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm aware.
Yes. Exactly what Jim called me on the phone with you.
Yeah.
Is that yes? So anyway, that's what they said in front of a room full of young children. Mm-hmm. And so then my family, as twisted as we are, had a great time with it. Now, juice box means DB. You know what I mean? You're going to be a D-bag, you're a juice box.
Okay.
So Brian, with your time restraints today on this genius, that's being just spewed upon you, I'm just letting you know you are a juice box. And not a Capri Sun.
Oh, I was gonna
juice box.
Man, I was gonna go to a whole Capri Sun riff, but now you've ruined it. Whole riff of Capri Sun just wash down the shower drain.
I kind of want to. Shower.
It's like you're a squirrel.
Yeah.
Shower.
You ought to just have it running sometime when I come in here, just so I get excited. Like the light on. Is that the shower running? Is somebody in there?
We'll find Bobby Ewing in there. Find out the whole thing was a dream.
I bet Hoff is in that shower.
That's a deep cut. I saw. I was on the YouTube rabbit hole yesterday, and I was watching someone do the Knight Rider theme on 8 cellos at once.
Okay, so you said that. Did you bring kazoos?
I didn't bring kazoos.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I mean, I do have multiple kazoos at home, but I didn't know if that's where we were really going with it.
Challenge accepted. Challenge
Message
accepted.
received.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zany Brownie. That was your punchline. I stole it. But all right. So I get the rhyme of the first half, but where's the box come from?
I don't know. He either misheard him, or he just. I mean, it is what it is. He's an 8-year-old. He heard because he's like, but he said he goes, why would he call him a juice box?
Because according to Jim, you're a juice canoe.
Yeah, I'm a juice canoe, according to Jim. Right. And
wait, that was a show. According to Jim. According to an ABC show that somehow stayed on for years and no one watched, you're a juice canoe.
According to Courtney Thorne-Smith's husband, I am a
deep cut.
Yeah. So
deep cut.
But no, that was what it is. So Brian, you're a juice box.
Gotcha.
All right. And
for making us leave. Yeah. So you can continue making money from your business.
So much more mediocre comedy coming up. I mean, it's just
I guess we gotta save it.
Yeah. This untapped well.
Help me.
Oh, we need the reverb back for that one. All right. Well,
the thing is, when we heard this on the Raw, like none of this was in it.
Yeah.
He just turned
the reverb on. So
yeah, that's the singing was awful.
Yeah.
Which are we going to get any kind of copyright strike for that? Because that was a way we did the whole.
We did
the whole theme song.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. Well, hey, take us out with reverb. Because this is awesome.
All right, everyone, this has been That Checks Out. I've been your host, Ted, the sidekick, apparently the star of our show, Damon Paracchio, and across the way, our master producer, Brian Juicebox Big Mac. That checks out.
What's his initials then?
No. So it's BJBBM.
He's like a snack followed by a double movement. I hope you got that on tape because I'm paying for that to stay.